There are three categories of women who support the derelict men of the black manosphere: mammies, pygmies, and opportunists. Melanie King is an opportunist who made her way over to black YouTube after her husband divorced her. She changed her hair, she said she lost weight, and she changed her makeup, but she's still the same person who clearly her husband decided he couldn't bear to be married to anymore. And I've said it before, that it's very unusual for a man to divorce a woman, so she must have been a real nightmare for him. Now she's over here, defending the derelict behavior of black men, and repeating the same lies that they spew as to why they date white women. The truth is, they're disloyal, derelict, and self-hating, and looking to buy white validation, preferably from a white man, but in order to be accepted by white men, they begin with white women. They ignore the facts of who white women really are. Black men put white women on a pedestal, but these are the same women who raised their sons to continue the subjugation of the black race, to put their knee in the black man's neck and a bullet in their back. Also, black men are followers. They follow the followers. Pretending to be white and being accepted by white society is a black man's main goal. That's why it's so easy for white society to lead black men around by the nose. So let's break down the lies one by one.
The higher you go in social status, especially with money and things like that, your pool shrinks quite a bit. And generally, you will find a black man will find more women of other races that are around him. He'll be approached more. They'll have more opportunities with women like that.
Black football players, basketball players, rappers, they all hang around the same people that they grew up with. Just because they're now millionaires doesn't mean that their educational level changed. Most of these men have a high school education at best, and they're not all of a sudden hanging around white wealthy businessmen. And the women that they meet hang out at sports bars, and they're IG models. Just because he has more women around him doesn't mean anything unless he's specifically choosing to be in places where mostly white women are, so that he would purposely exclude black women as a preference. No other race of men choose a different race from himself more than the black man, and that's because they're seeking validation and acceptance that no other race of men need. So black men have to offer his wealth or his lifestyle, and that is why he chooses a white woman after he becomes wealthy. If he doesn't have money, that means his white woman is bottom tier and she has no other options in her community.
Then the other factor with this as well is that a lot of guys who maybe when they were younger, maybe they were corny. Let's call it like I don't see him this way, but you hear a lot of black people say this, especially black men, or black women probably felt this way before he had money. Russell Wilson, where he's talked about how he's corny and how he's, like almost like that Alfonso Rivera, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
This is the very reason biracial women like Melanie King, who had no previous ties to the black community, shouldn't speak on black issues. Black women are thirsty for men like Russell Wilson. If Melanie King knew what she was talking about, she would know what Sierra's prayer is. And that is what black women say all the time about the kind of man they're looking for. Black men call Russell Wilson corny. Black men call Alfonso Rivera corny. Not black women.
Where his entire life, he wasn't cool. He wasn't hip enough. He didn't have that swag. He didn't have these things. And so who were the women that were more apt to be attracted to him, that would want to date him, that would find him attractive, and that he had that reciprocity that I talked about earlier? White women.
So while Melanie King is supporting the derelict ideology of black men, that white women are more feminine, more beautiful, and more accessible, she's forgetting that her two brown-skinned daughters will be rejected by the next generation of self-hating black males who will put white women on a pedestal above them, and these males will call her daughters masculine and unattractive for no reason than because they have brown skin.